Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Commissioner Woodson's actually online. So, let's see if he can hear us. Commissioner Woodson, can you hear us? No. Here, let me, he has his hand raised. Promote to panelist. You join as panelist.
And you can hear me.
Commissioner Woodson, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So did you want to run the meeting virtually or did you want Vice Chair Walton to run the meeting? That's your call as the chair.
It's easier if Vice Chair Walton runs it through the empty chair sitting
Okay.
there. She should.
Okay, great. So Vice Chair Walton, if you want to run the meeting, and we can help you as best we can. So, yes, of course. Yes, go ahead. We are. Sounds good. One second. I'm trying to see if there's anybody else. Chair Woodson,
Yes. Yes.
Commissioner Barron,
Yes.
Commissioner Walton,
Yes.
Commissioner Hearn, Commissioner Rana. Vice Chair, you have quorum.
Thank you. And then we're gonna ask someone to volunteer to lead the moment of silence and Pledge of Allegiance. Have a volunteer? Or I'm gonna pick somebody. Commissioner Hearn. Commissioner Rana, volunteers. No?
Vice
I
Chair
have no
Walton,
volunteer.
our deputy city attorney, has his hand raised, so.
Excellent. Thank you.
Hi, can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Great. I'm speaking in reference to the chair's virtual attendance. Because there are state law procedures we need to follow when a commissioner attends remotely, I recommend that Chair Woodson just observes this meeting remotely, and we'll have the vice chair run the meeting, and we can make sure we go through the proper procedures next time. Thanks.
Great. Great. So continue to run the meeting, Vice Chair Walton, and Commissioner Woodson will just observe for this meeting. So.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna volunteer Commissioner Hearn to lead the Pledge of Allegiance and our moment of silence, please. Thank you.
So we will have moment of silence. And we'll move on to the Pledge of Allegiance. So I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Thank you, Commissioner Hearn. All
And
right.
Vice Chair Walton, just because we had some issues last meeting, can I accept the deputy city attorney? What are you seeing on your screen at home, or what? I just want to make sure you're seeing what we're seeing.
Am I audible right now? I'm seeing
Yes.
the dais. I'm seeing the dais. I was seeing the chair a moment ago, but now I'm not.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
All right, any ex parte communications for quasi judicial matters from between the dais and all right. And then we're going on to our consent agenda with the approval of the minutes from the Planning Commission meeting, February 22nd, 2024. Any adjustments or comments on the meeting minutes, or can I have a motion to accept them as written?
I move the motion to pass the minute.
Any second? All right. Do we have a roll call?
Commissioner Barron,
No. No, you don't want to move. We're moving to, oh, that's right. She wasn't right, so
that's fine. She can abstain.
abstain.
Commissioner Walton,
Yes.
Commissioner Herr,
Yes.
Commissioner Rana,
Yes.
motion passes.
All right, and any informational items? Or our informational items actually are the general plan of 2045. We're gonna have a notice of preparation scoping presentation. Planning Commission to receive a presentation on the notice of preparation, the NOP of the environmental impact report associated with the city's comprehensive general plan update GP 2045 as part of the EIR public scoping process pursuant to PRC subsection 21080.4A. Staff planner Allison Hunter, AICP Planning Services Manager. Oh, and then there's her personal details. Do I read those as well or?
No,
No, all right,
that's
perfect.
okay.
And so Allison.
Thank you, Vice Chair Walton. Excellent job. I'm here just to go quickly through an overview and update on where we are right now in our general plan update process, and then I'll hand it over to our consultant, Nicole West with Rincon, who is actually working on preparing the EIR itself. So just presentation overview. The purpose of this scoping meeting is to invite public and agency comment on what matters should be considered for the preparation of the EIR as it relates to the general plan update. So in this venue, it would be any comments that have to do with all of the city of Marina, since the whole city of Marina is what's being considered within this EIR and as part of the general plan update. So, here are some more helpful tips for the scoping meeting. We do want to solicit input for the scope of the EIR. So what are all of the things that should be considered? And then we'll also be gathering ideas for alternatives for the proposed general plan update and also informing the community about future opportunities for input. So a general plan, and we've embarked on this update over the last more than a year. So we're proceeding well into the update of the general plan, but this is a guide for 20 years or more for the whole city, and it covers a variety of issues like transportation, housing, open space and conservation, economic development, and all kinds of things along those lines. So it really is it's the guidebook for the future of Marina into the next couple of decades. Marina's last or current general plan was adopted in 2000, so it's ready for some review and updating. And then what we're looking to do with our general plan update is preserve and enhance community strengths while addressing topics of concern. And as some of you might know, we've had a general plan advisory committee. Galia Barron, our new commissioner, is currently on the GPAC. And these are all things that the GPAC has been talking about, and we've been talking about at several public outreach opportunities as well over the last year. So as I mentioned, the planning boundaries are the entire city limits. So it's approximately 5,600 acres. And we will be considering the spheres of influence that you can see in the sort of lighter shaded gray within the pink boundaries. the overview of Marina 2045, which is what we're calling this general plan update effort, will comprehensively update the 2000 general plan. And these bulleted general plan elements are elements that are required by state law. As you all know, we've been undertaking a 6-cycle housing element update, which the director has been heading up and working on feverishly for the last 2 years. So because of the timing of the cycle with a 6th cycle that we're hoping will be certified any minute now for the housing element, that will be integrated into our general plan, but it's a standalone separate document. So the general plan effort won't be addressing housing element items. And now I'll hand it over to Nicole and she'll go into the more details on the CEQA and EIR requirements.
So the city will be preparing an environmental impact report, or EIR, for the general plan update. This is required by the California Environmental Quality Act, or CEQA, which is the state's primary environmental protection law. It requires that public agencies disclose environmental impacts of projects that could have a physical effect on the environment. So an EIR is an informational document that informs decision makers and the public about the potentially significant environmental impacts of the general plan update. It'll also identify mitigation measures to reduce those potentially significant impacts, and it will consider potentially feasible alternatives. The EIR has to be certified prior to the city approving the general plan update. This is a slide that goes over the entire CEQA process. So we're at the very beginning of the process. The first step is the city, they issued a notice of preparation, or an NOP, to let everybody know that they will be preparing the EIR. And we're currently soliciting input from agencies and the public on the scope of the EIR. We'll then consider all of those comments and prepare a draft EIR, which will then be circulated for public review for 45 days. And at that point, that's another opportunity for agencies and the public to provide input on the draft EIR. We then consider those comments and respond in writing to them and prepare a final EIR, which will then go to the Planning Commission and City Council for approval. The EIR looks at a wide range of different topics to analyze the impacts of those topics. So this slide outlines all of the type of topics that will be looked at. So again, right now we are soliciting input from agencies and the public on the scope of the EIR, what they would like to see covered in the EIR. So the things we're looking for input on are potential environmental impacts to be evaluated in the EIR, potential mitigation measures, and suggested alternatives to be considered. We're asking that you submit comments in writing to Allison Hunter. It can either be written via mail on the address on the screen or sent via email, but they have to be received by the end of the NOP period, which is by Friday, March 29th at 5 p.m.
Great. Thank you, Nicole, for that presentation. That's really it for our NOP presentation. I do notice we have one member in our live audience who may want to share comments, but or there might be some virtual attendees. But any questions from the commission about process or what to expect moving forward?
So I don't have any questions. I do have some comments, but I did want to open up for discussion. I see Commissioner Rana.
Yes, I have a question that few months ago, we had a presentation on the coastal zone hazards as to how the environmental change that is taking place is going to impact the coastal areas. Is that also part of EIR?
That's a really good question. What you're referring to is the draft coastal hazards and sea level rise amendments to our local coastal program. And those findings in those reports will be taken into consideration in the EIR as far as safety and other hazards go and their potential impacts. That is in the coastal zone, so it does have its own separate regulatory framework, separate from our general plan. And it is, the two are standalone in the sense that their regulations don't mix. However, in a case like right now, where the city is undertaking both an LCP amendment and a general plan update, we will share information gleaned from each, the EIR preparation for the general plan. If there are things we learn through that process that would be helpful or useful in the coastal zone, and vice versa, we will take those into consideration.
Thank you, Asha.
Can we take it back to the floor? To the,
Yes,
yes, perfect.
just get, come
You
up.
need to come up
come
to
to
the
the podium.
podium and speak into the microphone, please.
Yeah, no
Mhm.
problem.
And push the little button on the microphone.
Yep.
It was shown in a map and mentioned, I believe you said sphere of influence
Mhm.
with potential parcels that could be included in the city in the future. Does this planning effort and EIR, are determinations made in this process going to apply to future parcels that are included in the city of Marina? Or if new parcels are included in the city of Marina after this process, are there new EIRs needing to take place?
So any expansion to the sphere of influence could be considered as part of this general plan update and EIR. Where we are right now with the outreach and engagement we've been receiving, we're probably not going to be expanding the sphere of influence. But we are still working on kind of sussing all that information out. So that would be analyzed as an alternative in this process.
Mhm.
It's unlikely that we'll be expanding the boundaries.
Cool. Just as I manage some of the open space, I'm the manager of the UC Reserve.
Oh,
And,
are you
Joe.
Joe? Hi.
Yeah, hi. Yeah. We met on the various emails and stuff. So,
Yes.
so I want to think of this in that, half of the land that we manage would then be included into the city. So should we submit comments based on a potential inclusion?
You should definitely,
Okay.
UCSC should definitely be submitting comments right now as part of this NOP because your future planning,
Mhm.
we need to know for our EIR and the general plan policies that we'll be developing. So you're already in touch with us.
Yeah, we've been looking in on it, but that
Yeah.
just kind of sparked an idea that I had, was that, like, how does this apply if parcels are included in 5 years or 10 years? Does whatever is determined in this planning effort apply to that parcel? That's kind of my question.
If the properties are outside of the city limits and outside of the sphere right now, then it would go through a whole separate process
Okay.
at that time.
Okay, cool. So if they're outside of city limits right now, but inside of the sphere, then this would apply to it.
As far as growth management and sphere policies go.
Okay.
Yeah. But yes, UCSC should definitely submit comments as part of this NOP with all of that.
Yes, the reserves agency, which is about half of the land that
Mhm.
the UCSC runs. And then the real estate
Right.
will also be probably looking at this.
Mhm.
Thanks.
Yeah, sure. Sorry, I didn't recognize you.
Go slugs. All right. So any other questions here on the diet? No. So I have a comment. And this is, and it just, I want to first say thank you to staff and Ramey and Associates. I know that this has been a years-long effort, and to see it coming before us so close to being ready for us to launch is very exciting. I'm wondering if it is possible that the GP 2045 website is, I think, pretty amazing. And I'm wondering if we can share it with the public just a little bit, because I know that we want them to write in and give comment. But maybe we can get them a little excited by showing a little bit of what we've been through to get here.
Yeah, thank you for that comment. We do regularly post updates on our social media and on our city front page, like this is what's happening. And people can sign up on our website for agenda or basically all kinds of notifications. And we actually have, I think we have 1,000 people already signed up for notifications on the general plan update. So we have a pretty good following already, but we do regularly push out little.
Let me maybe make my question clear. I'm wondering if we can share our screen tonight and plug into that website and just flash it for whoever might be watching or will watch the YouTube later when they're off work, something like that, if that's possible.
Right.
Also, the effort that went into making that beautiful website. I'm just really proud of you guys. So I just
Yeah.
kind of want to show you off, and whoever's effort that is, I think they did a really good job, and I'm giving them fist bumps.
Thank you. Yeah, that was Ramey and Associates, our main general plan update consultant, and Nicole is with Rincon, who's subcontracting with Ramey to prepare the EIR. So they've been doing all of the graphic stuff and website and everything.
And the videos and the work that went in for the various meetings that happened to get you guys here. I just shout out. Good job. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
Thank you for loving our city.
Vice Chair Walton, we do have one person online who has their hand raised, so.
All right, we'll recognize that person.
Hi, thank you. My question is whether the EIR or the general plan will discuss how water will be supplied for any future development.
Yes, water supply is one of the topics analyzed in the EIR, and specifically it'll be analyzed in the utilities and service systems as far as water supply, and then also in the hydrology and water quality section for groundwater.
Vice Chair, that's the last person online.
Do we have one person walk in? Do we want to reopen to the floor, or is that?
That's within your protocol, that's fine.
Do you have would you like to make a comment on the current agenda item? All right, we are moving on then to a I guess we are calling for a motion to accept, or no? That's not where we
Yeah,
are.
so the notice
I
of
skipped it.
preparation, so under CEQA, this is just a scoping meeting that the consultant was here really just to get
Oh,
input from the community and commission, and then that feeds into the EIR preparation. There's actually no need to do a motion, so. So the next item on the agenda, Vice Chair, is just appointment of a new person to the tree committee. Unfortunately, we lost Commissioner St. John. So
So then, any staff and major projects,
not at this time.
no updates, any correspondence?
Not at this time.
And then, so now we're just adjourning.
We do have to get one more commissioner because Commissioner St. John
Oh,
is no longer on the tree committee, so we do need a representative from the planning commission to attend the tree committee.
oh,
meetings.
that's what the
So-
question was. I thought you were just saying, thank you for the correction. So who would like to volunteer to be on the tree committee? I cannot volunteer at this time.
So just to give some context, I know we're all super busy outside of these meetings, so they only meet quarterly on the second Wednesday of the month.
Yes, however, we do have special meetings from time to time in the event that there's a pressing permit or another reason to meet. And just a reminder, Vice Chair Walton, you are actually already an alternate planning commission member on the tree committee, just. So
I'm already on the
So
tree
you're
committee.
already kind
You're
of
already
on the
there,
tree
so.
committee.
I'm just gonna remind you guys that it's tax season and I have not had a day off since December 3rd. So.
Duly noted.
But
Yeah.
tax season will be over and then I will have more freedom come May. So since I'm already on the tree committee, then
And for the commission, hopefully we can get a representative today. We're down 2 commissioners today, so we could potentially bring this back. So,
Mhm.
okay, so that's up to the commission. So,
so do we need a motion for that?
if you just want to make a motion to continue the item.
Can,
That's fine.
so let's have a motion to continue this item for next time. And can I make that motion or do I point, do I?
You can make the motion.
I
somebody to
make the
second it.
motion to. I'm gonna have a second, Commissioner Rana.
Okay, Commissioner Barron. Vice Chair Walton,
Yes.
Commissioner Herr, Commissioner Rana. Motion passes.
All right. And now we're at adjournment.
Yes.
And we are calling this meeting to an end.
Hey,
It's a show.
ever. Yeah.